Hi everybody, it's Jill with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here for a Finally Friday video. This week I've got another no frills tutorial and I'm going to show you the flap card that I demonstrated on a Tuesday Live a couple weeks ago. So stay tuned and I'll be right back with all the details. So this week I have a no frills tutorial on how to do this flap fold card. Not going to decorate it, but I will give you all the dimensions and show you what you need to do. So let's get started. You're going to start out with a piece of your card base in whatever color you want. Now this card, let me show you another one. I also did another version where I did not use designer series paper. I just used white. So I had the base, I have a layer, and then I have white. So this blue layer that you see here is 4 by 4, and then you can cut this down to like 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 if you'd like. Run that through an embossing folder, something like that. I just did my stamping over the other layers. It's another tutorial, but I stamped the branches over like that. But this is just another way that you could do it. I'm just going to show you using designer series paper because everybody probably has some designer series paper to use up. But on this you could also cut this down to 1/8 of an inch and put another, I could have put the pink in there. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to start getting our base. We need 9 3/4 by 4 1/4. So your base starts out as 9 3/4. Oh, I probably could cut that down first to save paper. So we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then that piece this piece I just cut off is ready for another card of some sort, so I didn't waste it. So I did have a moment's thought there. So, and then we're going to cut this at 9 3/4. Set that aside. Oh no, we need that. And then you're going to score this piece at 4 1/4. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to score that at 4 1/4. And here is what you're going to work with. All right. Now, as I said, this layer is 4 by 4. So whether or not you want to build in another layer to yours, that's up to you. I am going to just use designer series paper like I did there. So I'm going to use the Hydrangea Hill paper. And I got this one already kind of cut from another project I did earlier today. See if we need it to be 4 by 4. So we will cut it at 4 by 4. And yes, I said you're not going to watch me decorate this, but I do want to give you different views of what's going on rather than just showing you white layer over white layer over white layer. So we're going to glue this down on top of the card base. Again, remember you can use whatever paper you have, whatever embossing folders. This is just an example to show you the measurements. So 4 by 4, we're going to lay that down. And I did use Seal Plus, and I don't think, oh, there it did come up. I was going to say, and I don't think that's coming up. I didn't get it over quite where I wanted it. That looks pretty good. All right, so now we also need a piece of our base that is 1 1/2 inches wide by 4. And let's see, this piece that I cut off, the base works. Just need to trim a little smidge off. And we're going to score that at 1/2 inch. All right, so this piece is 1 1/2 wide by 4 inches long, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And you need now either another piece of colored paper, this is going to be our flap, or I'm going to get a piece of this paper that I'm using on here, and I'm going to shake it up a little bit, and I'm going to use this designer paper, and we need this piece to be 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches long. So I'm not quite 4, but maybe I didn't cut it straight. Let's look at this end. Oh, all right, we're going to use this. It's not quite 4 inches, but we're going to use it. So we want 3/4 inch wide by 4 inches long. And that is going to adhere onto this strip. So let me get my adhesive back out. This Seal Plus is so strong. I do like it once I get used to using it. And since I know that this isn't going to be long enough, I'm going to start at this end. So you want to center that on your paper and put it down. So now what you can do, what I did is I put some ribbon over the top. You can go ahead and add ribbon to decorate it. You can put that on there and tie a different bow. This one is more of a solid ribbon, but you could also tie a bow and add a little more decoration on there if you'd like. But this piece is your flap that's going to come over the top. So I'm going to put some more adhesive on just on the back of that flap, and then center that on the very back of the card like so, and push it down, and then that'll be your flap that comes over the card. So now we're going to move on. Let's see if hopefully all that's in there. We're going to move on now, and so we need a 1.5 by 4.25 inch strip of paper. You can either use another, like the coordinating color, you can use the designer series paper again, and I'm going to go ahead and use this piece again, and we want this piece 1.5 by 4.25. Well, let me make sure it's going to be wide enough. It's not wide enough. Let me go this way. So I'm going to go, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back to, should I use this one then? We'll use this one. So we're going to go 1.5. This one I know is 4.25. My other ones I was trying are not long enough to go up through the whole card. So now you want to adhere this piece. Actually, I'm going to cut it down to 4 because I do want a little border showing. So my paper that I have here will work. So we're going to go 1.5 by 4, and I'm going to glue that onto the edge there like so. I'm glue that right here. Like so. To finish off our inside, you need a 3 3/4 inch by 4 inch piece that you can glue inside. Now, if you're going to stamp inside, you might want to do that before you glue it down, because sometimes we don't always stamp the way we want it to, and you'll want to be able to flip it over and do the other side. So I'm going to, whoops, it goes this way, finish off my inside. I'm going to line those two pieces up, and now the inside is finished off, like so. And there's our flap. All right. So moving on, we will start building up the front part now. And I've done this already so that you didn't have to watch me or anything. or wait for me. We have got approximately a 3-inch square for the front, and oh, okay, 3-inch square for the front that we're going to glue down. I just realized I wanted to use a different color for the back of my card, the main back of the card, and I don't know why I didn't, but that's okay. We're going to glue this down just to the front like so. And then we've got a 2 7/8 roughly inch. I have a stitched square here, but you use whatever you want. If you have circles, you have ovals, they will all look great on the front of this. So whatever you have available is what you can use. But if you happen to have these little tiny magnets, like I've shown before, I suggest that you put one on this card. And so I'm going to show you. I need 2 little like glue dots, and I'll put one on that side of the magnet, and you'll put this down before you stick your hole. Oops, I barely got that in my... Move it over just a smidge. Put that. Okay. So now we have a 3-inch scallop square. And again, if you have circles, rectangles, whatever you have that you want to put on here, go ahead. Just make sure it's not too much. Well, you can make it bigger, but you want it to cover the square you put on below, like so. So go ahead and put your adhesive on this flap. Don't go past this square, because you don't, your big square here is not going to go past that, because it's about the same size. So then just make sure you're centered, or you're over your square but beneath it, and then just push down on your flapper. So now I can peel off my other little glue dot and then close it down, and then now the magnet has stuck to the other side, and now you can glue down your pieces. You need 3 of these 2 7/8 inch squares. So you'll decorate this one like so. You'll decorate that one. You'll decorate that one, and let me put just a smidge of glue on it so you could see that it's gonna stick there. Must not have pushed it down. I don't want to glue it all together because I might want to stamp on this and finish this card off. So I'll edit this part out maybe. Okay, I'm going to put a little smidge on this one to stick it down for video's sake. So now when these two come together, that magnet is strong enough to keep that closed for you. All right, then your third square will go on the top of this. Now, like, I decorated my inside squares, and then on my outside I left this one plain, and then I created these with the I think it's the Art and Bloom set, and cut that out. But you don't have to do that. You could put a little bit of stamping on here with the hydrangea stamp set and be good to go. So there you go, guys. A no frills tutorial. You can stamp on the inside, stamp whatever you want, but there's a no frills tutorial on this fun fold. It's a great, it's again, it looks harder than it is, and so I would challenge you to give it a try. Send me the photos or post on my Green Thumb Stampers Facebook page. Post your creations.
Thanks, guys.
So are you anxious to give that a try? It's another great fun fold, easy, and just looks really cool when it's done. And with all the different designer papers, you've got a bajillion combinations that you could make. So have fun with it. And again, share it, give it to me in email, whatever, and I'll post it for you to show everybody what you've been making. Until next week, I hope you have a great weekend. Bye, guys.